Hey there, my name is Trenton Lee, and this is my complete your application assignment for COM 120 I chose, for part one, I chose option one, and actually found an article that really stuck out to me because it screamed me. It's titled "The Stress of Social Comparison and How to Limit Comparing Yourself to Others," which is something that I have done for years, and as the article says, everyone does it. It's human nature. It's just the way you you know, view yourself in either in a negative spotlight or a positive spotlight. If you take what you're comparing and use it for good or bad, or really mentally. There's two types of social comparisons. There's the upper social comparison, which is, you have you've got a role model, like, let's say you're the governor or something, is your best friend, and you're like, wow, like they've done really well. Like if I follow in their footsteps, I feel like I could achieve what they have achieved. This is what I want in life. This is my goal, and it's almost, it's like positively thinking, I can get to where they're at. I've just got to work hard, follow what they did, and then there's also the downward, where, downward social comparison, where you may see, sorry, I have to refer back to the article, like, making yourself feel better by looking at somebody who is less fortunate. And I have been guilty of that. I've complained before, and, my parents have gave me the whole spiel, it could be a lot worse. And, you don't realize that till you get older and mature, and you're, as my mom always says, which I appreciate her advice. She always says, her grandmother used to tell her, people would kill to have our bad days. And that is a downward, comparison, but also, it makes me feel better, and makes me almost count my blessings. Another way that social comparisons just don't, are not good, or something that I've had to do. Actually, I guess this will be more part two. Action. So I found myself, always scrolling on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, and, seeing these people, and almost seeing these, fit, very good looking, and I would always compare myself, like, wow, or very successful, be like, wow, how, I'm so far behind. I'm 29. These people are achieving at 22 what I should have, been able to do if I'd, been more structured and disciplined. And, it got to a point, I actually talked to my best friend about it, and he gave me really good advice. He was like, you need to either unfollow all of those accounts, or you just need to delete your social media, because, yes, people can be very successful at 22. They may have all their eggs in a basket, but, that is a very small percentage of the population. There is no timeline on success and doing well. A lot of people are going to fail several times until they, can, become successful or whatnot. So actually, I took the approach. I was like, you know what, I'm just going to, delete my Facebook, delete my TikTok, and I have felt my mood improve drastically, not having to go on there and look and being like, wow, this is, this is, the comparison, it was just very negative for me. And, I've just started, as the article suggested, one of the things is, one, count my blessings, and then two, I've also, created this support circle is what they call, but, it's pretty much my group of friends, and, they are all they finished college when I didn't and stuff. And, I look at them, and, they're beautiful houses and families and stuff. And I'm like, wow, like that is what I want one day, you know. And they're very, very, you know, they cheer me on. Very, they're great role models. They kind of, you know, helped me get sober a year and a half ago from alcohol. I mean, that's all I was dabbling in, but too much. But you know, it's good having good role models like that and being able to compare in a healthy, upward way. You know, drives me to want to do more. And really, they're the reason I'm back in school. It's because I want to see myself be successful. And you know, it's the old saying's true. You know, you are a product of who you surround yourself with. So pick your friends wisely. But anyways, sorry to ramble on. Have a good evening.